So a lot of people ask me what kind of fuel economy I get in this old girl. Well, 28.5 liters per 100 kilometers. We got a lot to talk about here. I basically abandoned this at my property, told everybody I'm done with it, because I drove it all the way there, doing 30, for those who didn't see that video, and I just was done. But all I had to do to find it was this, in the first place, was look up one YouTube video, and I took it out, went for a drive, first time I'd done 110, probably ever. This controlled my entire mind.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
You just got to be aware when thoughts come into your mind, and it's just a practice that like you analyze, you see it, it comes in, and it's like, piece of shit, you're a fucking piece of shit. And before it can go in, and like it's in your brain, you just slap that motherfucker out of the way. Slap it, swipe left on her, you know? That's a 2, swipe, you know? Or, you know, I get it though, sometimes it's New Year's Day, it's been a long year, and you swipe right, and you know, you pay for that. You pay for the consequences of your actions.
Emotional, damn it!
You gotta swipe left on negativity, swipe right on positivity. In your mind. You see it flying. Shit hawk. You're a shit hawk. You're a shit hawk. And it's like almost in your brain, and you just smack it out of there. But it comes down to awareness, because if you just like let that shit float through your brain waves, it has an impact. I get it though, like I said, you know, sometimes take one for the team. You know, I haven't been there personally. Kind of got pretty high standards. Oh, okay. That was easy. What in the fuck? We're done. No way I'm gonna figure that out in due time if I wanted to, but I've already got this. Life update. I went on my adventure to Kelowna, drove until the gas ran out, ended up pretty much in Kelowna. Said okay, I'll stay here, and lived in the back of my car for a month. Tried to get jobs. I got a couple jobs, and I was like, in the beginning, to be honest, was still lazy, and I didn't want to do anything, and then I just started working little bit, getting different jobs. And I was like, shit. I felt, you know, I felt that I was being lazy, but I was in a situation where like I didn't have any resources. I had a flip phone, and I didn't want to reach out to any of my friends. But after doing just a little bit, like getting the job, getting a different job, getting like a 4th job, and then I ended up selling candy out of this box downtown. Ended up making good money, and I was like on my grind. But not initially, like it only happened because I was in that survival state. So what I want to work on now is like, how do I get myself into that survival state without putting myself in the survival state? Yeah, hopefully I can figure that out, and you guys come along with the journey, and you know, figure it out maybe for yourselves. Like, why is it that I say I want to do this, but then I never do it? And for me, it's like it's been 4 years of not really doing anything. And you've probably heard me say that plenty of times before. And without conscious, decisive action towards that, even if it's just minuscule, like I'm not gonna get anywhere that I want to get to by the time I want to get there, you know? I just want to be happy. Like I just want to be fulfilled, which could just be driving this thing around and like adventuring. But I also know that you need to do hard shit if you want to feel fulfilled. Like you need to work out, you need to have discipline. And I have such a weak mind and zero discipline. And that's why I was an alcoholic, because I couldn't say no. And then it became a habit, and then I really couldn't say no. But I got out of that, you know? And to be able to get out of something like that, like, obviously I can figure out how to make money and just travel around and do whatever I want and help people. But when you have a belief that, like, you haven't proven to yourself that you can do it in this specific area, it's hard to do. Like, I've been successful in other areas, but it doesn't really transfer over, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta prove it to yourself. Also, I'm not doing anything disciplinarily. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm not like working out every day, blah, blah, blah. I've just been lazy. especially in Saskatchewan. And I've just, all these events that you've seen me do in my life have been emotionally escaping. One emotional escape after another. To what end? To basically no end, right? So, yeah, I hope that kind of resonates for some people, and if it does, I don't know, like, that's probably why you're here, just like sticking with me on my journey, seeing where I go in life, and hopefully we can grow together and figure this shit out. And it's not really figuring it out, it's pretty easy. It's just like, you gotta decide what you want, you know, put conscious action into that thing, and it's a lot easier said than done, for sure. Even, I don't know, like, you gotta give yourself credit for the small things. Put a pull-up bar on the side of the bus, and on the inside of the bus on the roof, and just because of that, you know, like, I'm feeling a little better about myself. I'm like working out a little bit, not much, but like I just see it there, so I like grab it, hang on it, stretch, and then, you know, start ripping a couple reps, and the next thing you know, like, it's been a week of doing like, I don't know, 5 to 10 reps a day, and I went from like skinny little arms because I hadn't been doing anything to like getting more bulk back, and that's minuscule effort, but it's just small daily effort. But there's so much, I feel right now, even my brain's like the boundaries are just like, yeah, okay, whatever, but like, just to actually do that's a lot harder, because your brain gets in the way of thinking you're worth doing that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, it's because you know if you do those things, you're going to be in a completely different place, and that's kind of scary, to be honest. Like, it's completely out of your comfort zone of thinking, like, it's like you'll be a different person in a way, and that's, you know, that's kind of like scary. It's nice to be back in BC. I've said this before though, it's not really the place that determines my happiness, it's my internal game. You know, I can be in Mexico in boiling hot, boiling hot, you know, sun, or I can be like in Saskatchewan in -50, thriving, loving life. And I think that comes down to a lot of like, are you doing something that feels meaningful, feels like it's worthy, and feels hard, you know? Feels like a difficult task, like something that's challenging you. And all the times in my life that I felt really good, I've been challenging myself. But like, I go through phases of not challenging myself, and it's just like, it's almost like the less I challenge myself, the more depressed that I am. It's just a guaranteed spectrum. And the last week, just to give you like perspective, I was eating boxes of Oreos for the whole day, like whip out, you know, 10 Oreos, dunking them, just having the time of my life in Saskatchewan, doing dick all. And then slowly after, like, there's a certain amount of time where you can only do that for so long when your identity, you want to be something different, where your brain kicks in. That's where you gotta decide what you want to do, because eventually after a couple weeks or months or whatever, or years, your brain kicks in and is like, this isn't really what you want to be doing, is it? Eating Oreos and jerking off all day? So basically, after, you know, like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks of being in Saskatchewan, eating Oreos, Doritos, really going down, you know, cognitively, I just started kind of doing smaller things. Like, I went from watching, you know, entertainment on YouTube to watching education, and then from that to like picking up a book here and there, and I'd read like a page, put it down, and be like, oh, I want some fucking TikTok. And then from that to like putting a little effort into my life and like putting up the pull-up bar on the bus. And that was kind of a game changer, because I started working out, getting a little bit of physical energy, and it kind of like rejuvenated me just a little tiny bit. But that small little bit like made a pretty big difference. And now it's been like maybe, you know, 4 days of like, I'm eating Oreos here and there. More than that though, I'm eating like somewhat better food. And from where I was at though, like, it's such a big difference. But also to go to the next level, which is like being a pretty, you know, cognitively cool, you know, educated ass dude, is like it's like you go from here to here, which is easy, and then to go the big jump is a lot more difficult. Not saying it can't be done, I guess I'm just speaking my mind, but I'm sure, you know, like, people probably feel like this that are watching this, or have felt this in your life at some point in time. So hopefully, like I said before, you know, we can just fucking work together and and kind of, you know, figure this shit out. And like I came back here and I wasn't really sure. I'm still not really sure what I want to do, but I just decided like I need to put all my energy into one thing, and maybe that should be helping people, and then from that I can you know, expand on that. It could be anything, and then like I still gotta figure out how to make money. But I already said to myself before, if I could just find a way to make money, travel, live in my bus, I would be very happy, but also helping people. Like I gotta feel like my life has some meaning. And then from that, like if I just choose that, I know I can grow off of that. But before it's been like, oh, I'm gonna be the best motivational guy or whatever, like in the world. With a weak brain like mine, I just go like, okay, that's impossible. And I know it's not deep down, but like my fixed mindset is like, okay, that's not possible. And I think once you start proving to yourself by doing little steps, you'll eventually get to where it's like, oh shit, like maybe I do have a chance at that. You look like other YouTubers and you look at their old videos and they're just whack. And you're like, wow, you went from that to where you are now? I think that's partly the same, because you have put effort into something and you're committed, and then you grow. Like nobody goes from 0 to 100 overnight. It's not like, you know, Logan Paul and all of them. They like started out making, they didn't just start out with amazing videos and everyone loved them. It's like everyone starts at 0, you know, and I forget that a lot. Everyone just starts at 0, and you gotta just, you know, work your way up. And working your way up though, as you go on, gets funner and actually gets easier because you just get more skill. I'm kind of ranting. I don't know if you guys like this or not. I'll probably, you know, like put this at the end of the video or whatever, but
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
yeah, I don't know. Put your thoughts below. I don't really, like my intention with this is just to kind of update people, you know, if there are people that are, oh, somebody's over there having a fire. Or somebody just drove their car into the lake. But, yeah, anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm probably going to go start the bus and take off just so I can have a shower and do laundry. I haven't done that in a while. I sold the property in Saskatchewan, like all these things that I said emotionally, jumping. So I just had to like disconnect from the old, sell the property, like what am I ever going to do with that? It's not really aligned with where I want to go, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, so if you guys enjoyed, good. You gotta put sheet metal. Well, so I think what it's telling me is, hey, enjoy this, chill out, you got nowhere to be, which I'm not very good at, just chilling out, but, well, that's the thing, I'm good at chilling out if I'm like, waves, right? Well, now we're balls deep pretty much, really getting a taste of my own medicine. No problem. Sun's going down. All that confidence I had fixing it, bringing it all the way down here. I don't know. If I leave it, maybe it fixes itself, but maybe not. I mean, I don't really have a heck of a lot of options, so. Fingers crossed. No expectations. You know, you live a happy life. Don't set any fucking expectations. And you'll be just fine. thank you guys for watching. See you on the next video. You're probably looking right at my crotch, hey? Enjoy. Couple months, that'll be on OnlyFans. And it'll be more expensive than it is now. I got nice feet. I can sell that shit. Easy. What a view, though. What a fucking view.